Hello everyone and welcome to Skrrt Garage. My name is Connor and today I'm going to show you guys how to paint your calipers. And I'm going to try to do it as easy as possible. So with that, let's get this video started. Now let's talk about the products real quick. You really don't need much. You need paint for the color. I'm going to use VHT. Everybody does essentially. It stands for very high temperature paint, and what it can do is withstand the heat that your brakes will generate. The next thing you're going to need is a clear coat. The clear coat's really important to, I guess, preserve the paint color and to keep it nice and shiny. And I think it's called 2K. Or Spray Max, something like that. I will leave the link of all the products I use in the description box below, just in case you want to check it out. The other thing you're going to need is some brake cleaner to clean off the brake calipers, some sandpaper to roughen the surface, and I also recommend that you guys get some plastic coverings to go over your car or into your garage. That way you don't get the dust from the paint all over the place. With that, guys, I think that is everything that you guys need, and we're going to go ahead and get this video started. Let's go. What I'm going to do first, and this is just me, you guys don't have to do this at all, but I'm going to go ahead and loosen the lugs before I jack it up because my impact gun honestly just isn't that strong. Then I'm actually going to put my car on ramps first because I want to see exactly where these little tripods are going to fit in. I haven't really used that on this car yet. So after I get them on ramps, I then go back to the differential, and here is an important part. Because you jack it up from the differential, the car is going to rock back. And so when you're getting ready to set up your jack stands, you want to put them like maybe a ½ inch or an inch in front of where you're actually supposed to, because when you, I guess, take the car off the jack, it's going to start to move forward just a little bit. And so just a little top tip for you there. Okay, now that the car is pretty much all the way supported, it's on jack stands and jacks, now it's time to actually wrap the car up and protect the paint. This is important for a few reasons. First off, I'm in Oklahoma, there's crazy amounts of wind here, and clear coat and paint, especially from a rattle can kind of stay in the air for a while. And you don't want any of that landing on your car, so go ahead, tape everything off, make it look like a crime scene. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to take off the rear brakes. I use a little Allen and a hammer, and you can smack out the guide pins on the top and bottom. With the bottom one off, you can take out the anti-rattle clip. Now we'll take out the top guide pin, and with that you can kind of shimmy the brake rotor and you can get the pads out no problem. Now with the calipers still on the rotors, I'm cleaning it with brake cleaner and whatever else I have lying around. Now there are two 14mm bolts that hold the caliper in place. What we're going to do now is take those off to give us better clearance and access to actually sand the brake caliper down. So take your time on this step, sand everything down and get it ready for painting. Okay, the idea is to try to paint all the calipers at the same time. So we're going to remove the lower little bolt holding the anti-rattle clip in, then we're going to remove the upper, and the front caliper is a little bit different. There's a 13mm bridge bolt. The torque spec is 22 foot-pounds when you put it back on later, but you need to remove it in order to take out the brake pads. With that gone, you can now remove the brake pads. Now you might have to shimmy the rotor just a little bit to get them out. I know that I had to. With the brake pads removed, now it's time to remove the caliper from the assembly. The caliper comes off with two 17mm bolts. The front caliper bolt torque spec is 58 foot-pounds when you go ahead and reinstall them after they are painted. With them off, simply remove the rotor and you can start cleaning the assembly around where the rotor will be placed back on. This is kind of a before shot. I haven't done any of the sanding. I wanted to try and do the sanding with the caliper bolts back on to see if it was any easier. It honestly is all the same. I think some parts were easier, some parts were harder. You can maybe do the front half and then remove the bolts, then do the rear half. Either way, once you're done, put some isopropyl alcohol back on it and clean it off. Okay guys, we are finally ready. All of these are taped off with barriers. The brake rotors are off. Everything is ready to go. I'm gonna slide this piece of cardboard underneath as I paint. The car is completely taped off. Boom, everything's good there. Come around this back side. Everything is off and ready there. Everything is perfect. Now, to be totally honest, it has taken me like 7 hours to get everything like this. If I could do it over again, I probably would have taken the calipers off. Full disclosure, just being honest. So, let's get painting. For this VHT paint, it's really not too bad. Just shake it for 1 to 2 minutes, and then we're gonna start with our first light coat or dust coat, whatever you wanna call it. Do not try to drown the whole thing. You're just trying to get some adherence between the paint and your caliper. On the front, we'll do the same thing. We'll go at it from all angles, top to bottom, side to side, and then I'm gonna actually get behind the rotor and do the same thing. Always read the instructions of the spray can, but I do remember it saying wait about 10 to 15 minutes in between coats. For me guys, I ended up using 3 coats on the rear brakes, and I think I used 4 on the front. And generally what I did was a dust coat, then a light one, then a medium coat, and then another medium coat. I just wanted to make sure that everything was painted evenly and that nothing was left behind. There wasn't any badges or any, I guess, black that would be showing through or any dark spots. So it's up to you. Okay, now we're going to apply the Brembo heat resistant sticker to the calipers. This is pretty fun because these are Brembo brakes. I'm going to be using a larger one for the front and a smaller one for the rear. This is important guys, definitely take your time, mock it up, cut it a few times so you actually know exactly what it is going to look like on the caliper. Place it and then simply remove the top part of the sticker and you are good to go. This clear coat that we're going to be using is a 2-compound system, so you need to shake it for a minute, activate the lower plunger, and then shake it for another minute. Now, again, don't go too crazy. You can use 2 to 3 coats here. I think I only used 2, but you will have to let this cure for at least 24 hours. Okay guys, it is now the next day, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a walk around. Here looks awesome, and before people start asking why I'm putting these Brembo stickers on, these are Brembo brakes. You look right here, it says Brembo. So overall, I'm very happy with the outcome. I think they look really, really good. I need to walk past all this junk. So really happy. Now I just need to take off all of this, I guess, wrap that I have on the car, and we'll be ready to go. I do highly recommend guys that you do put some sort of barrier tape on. You can see how much yellow, just dust is on it, and same over here. You can see all the yellow that's in and on this paper, so it just shows how much is like out and floating around. Plus, if you look, there's one angle where you can see all the yellow from the bottom. If you look down there, you can see some yellow on the bottom of my garage. Now, a lot of that's dust and it'll come off, but I'm really, really glad I went ahead and fully taped off the car. So anyways, now it's just time to take everything apart. Dang, this is the first time I'm looking at it with the now yellow and the gray contrast. It looks freaking unreal. I can't wait to put the wheels back on and see exactly how this is gonna look. I do have plans to get new wheels pretty soon, so I guess stick around for the reveal of the wheels. Okay guys, we are done and it looks so good. I can't believe how awesome this looks. If anything, it just makes these wheels look that much more out of place. I cannot wait until I can get some nice wheels to go with this car. I'm not saying that these are bad. These are nice quality BBS wheels, but I think that it really deserves a great set of wheels because these yellow brake calipers really pop. It's dark outside and they still pop really, really nicely. So I'll give you another quick walk around the front there. And we'll come back over here. And guys, that is it. I'm gonna pull the car in, give my wife a little bit more room to park in here, and that is a wrap on this video.